Hi, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes. Hi, good evening. Yes.
Okay. So this is Ayaz Mustafa. I will be your tutor for performance management. Myself is a fellow cost and management accountant as well as ACCA member. I'm having 13 years of teaching experience in the field of performance management and management accounting. We will be starting our class in a few minutes, but before starting, I want to know something about you, that how many papers you have cleared so far, and are you people working or full-time students? Please introduce yourself one by one.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, myself, it's Usha. Um, I'm student. I'm part-time student. I'm working at the same time.
How
For the
many
moment,
papers you have
sorry.
how many papers you have cleared for ACCA so far?
I completed my level 1.
Okay,
I just stepped in the level 2.
so this will be your first exam in
I
level 2.
already attempt. Yes, I already attempt once for this paper. Unfortunately, I didn't go through. It will be my second attempt.
Okay, next please.
Hello.
Next please.
Hello, my name is Prafna Nayan. I'm part-time student and currently working. I I have already completed F7 and this is my first attempt at this paper.
Okay. You can even send me the text message if you don't want to speak. Please, everyone, so that I can know about my audience. So I was going through your messages. Okay. This is my first attempt. So most of the you are studying this paper first time and are fresher in the level 2. Okay, and working as well. So majority of people are working. That's very good. First of all, what you people need to do is to have your hands free with you or a better speaker so you can listen me. No problem if you are not having a mic. Then you can send your queries through the text in this chat. As far as the rules for this class are concerned, you people need to have your calculators with you as well as your writing notepad or something like that so that you can note it and have some calculation. As most of the times I use to ask answers of the little calculations from you people, so you need to be active and interactive. So my aim is to keep you people alive during this virtual class. That's why I always try to get your participation in terms of the answers that I ask from the students. So everyone should be active. My teaching style would be, first of all, I will explain the topic. Generally, I explain the reasons, what is the idea of this topic, what is the basic concept of this topic. Then we will apply that concept, and in most of the times, I link the concepts with the basic knowledge. For example, the basic knowledge of PM topics are related to management accounting paper, which was in your previous level 1. So I always try to link up the topic of PM with the previous topic. So first of all, I will share a link that you have already studied this thing, and then I will explain. Then we will solve some past paper questions applying that concept, because we are only having one class in a week. So it will be a comprehensive class having 3 hours per week. So your task is very critical to be active as well as to do practice questions during the week. As per norms of the academy, we normally create a WhatsApp group and we ask queries during the week in that WhatsApp group, and then I try to answer those queries as per my earliest convenience. So first of all, let me give you a brief intro of the syllabus. Then we will move to our first topic. So I shared the screen. I hope screen is visible to all of you. You can just confirm in the text. Is screen visible? So this is the performance management study syllabus and study guide for September and June 2023. So you people are aiming to attempt your exam in June 2023 and do consistent with your goal that you will be appearing in June 2023, not later than that. Make it a habit to choose a paper in which you are going to appear in the coming attempt. So do not delay your exam. Most of the people at the end decide that I will appear after June. So stick to your plan. First of all, the basic ideas or the basics are taken from the management accounting paper, which is related to cost and management accounting. You have studied a comprehensive syllabus of management accounting, and based on that the syllabus of performance management is constructed. And after performance management, there is an advanced paper of advanced performance management. And there are some topics of performance management that will be used as a basic for SBL, strategic business leaders. So this is the overall pathway of this paper. The basic is taken from management accounting, MA. Then advanced one is performance management, and at a further higher level, in a professional level, that is the advanced performance management. And some of the topics are used as a basics for strategic business leader. So this paper is very important as far as ACCA and practical knowledge and exposure is concerned. And there are literally very interesting techniques we will study in this syllabus. As far as approach to examining the syllabus is concerned, the examiner has divided the paper into 3 sections, section A, B, and C. And as you know that in most of the calculation-based papers, examiner always provide a formula sheet. So a formula sheet will also be provided. We will discuss what are those formulas. And in section A, B, and C, in section A, as in almost in all level 2 papers, the structure is same section wise. In section A, there will be 15 objective type questions and having 2 marks each. It means there will be 30 marks in section A type questions. Then there will be a second section of the paper, which is section B type, in which there will be 3 case style questions. But these case studies will be assessed through MCQs, multiple choice question, not the long question. And in every case, there will be 5 questions. So I can summarize it as that there will be 3 cases, and in every case, there will be 5 MCQs. And for each MCQ, there will be 2 marks. So ultimately, section B will also be having 30 marks. And if we talk about the 60 marks are based on MCQs, multiple choice question. The first 30 are independently selected. The first are independent 15 MCQs, no link with the previous MCQ. Whereas in the section B, there will be 3 case studies. And after each case study, there will be 5 MCQs. So the 3 case studies are independent, but in one case study, there will be 5 questions. So related to one scenario, there will be 5 MCQs, and every MCQ will be having 2 marks. And as far as section C is concerned, this is the descriptive part of the paper, which is the long questions, in which there will be 2 questions, comprises 20 marks each. So it will be 2 into 20. The total will be 40. And the total of the paper is 100 marks. And you know that in every ACC exam, 50% is the pass percentage, that you need to attain at least 50% of the total, which is 50. So how we can achieve it? In most of the exams, in the previous history is concerned, students normally got easily 60 to 70 marks, because 60 marks are 100% from MCQs, and MCQs are very easy for those students who are attending all the lectures, as well as following the guidelines of the teacher. So out of these 60, you will be getting very easily 50 marks. This is what I am saying based on the history, that it is very easy to score 50 marks out of these 60 marks. And out of this 40, students are very easily getting 20 marks. That's why I'm saying that almost 70% is the average marks that the average student is getting. Now, the students who are aiming to have distinction or something above average, they should work more hard with more concentration. But as far as the pass marks are concerned, it is very easy to pass this paper. So I will summarize this, that there will be the three sections, section A, B, and C. Section A will be having 15 MCQs, 2 each. It will be 30 marks. In section B, 3 case studies, 5 MCQs in each case, and there will be 2 marks for each MCQ. So it will be in total 30. And there will be 2 long questions. And in every long question, there will be almost 3 to 4 parts, A part, B, and C. Normally in 1 or 2 parts, there are something like theoretical writing, descriptive, and the third one is normally the calculation part. While we will be covering the topic, we will be covering each topic with respect to section A, B, and C. As far as your syllabus is concerned, syllabus is having 5 major topics. And out of these 5 topics, examiner has given you some criteria that which part will be asked in section A, which part will be asked in section B, and which parts are asked in section C. So first of all, we will discuss the syllabus areas, and then I will link that out of which syllabus area the question will be asked in section A, B, and C respectively. So if there is any question from your side so far, then let me know. And if you are okay, I will proceed. So now, introduction of the syllabus. Syllabus has 5 areas. The first area is related to cost and management accounting techniques. Let me show you those areas. The first one is very generic area, information technology system and organizational performance. Then cost and management accounting techniques. Second, third one is decision making. Fourth one is budgeting and control. Fifth one is performance management, performance measurement and control. And then there are some topics related to employability and technology skills. Employability and technology skills are basically how to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. And I hope everyone is okay to use with the Microsoft Word and Excel. And we will also be doing our practice questions that I will give you for your self practice. I always suggest you to do these questions in Microsoft Excel so that you can attempt the question with ease and comfort in your exam, because you know that the exam platform has Microsoft Excel sheet attached. So that's why it is preferable to use Microsoft Excel while we are doing the practice. So if I talk about the main areas, first one that I will teach you is the cost and management accounting techniques. Second one I will be teaching you is the decision-making techniques. And the third one is budgeting and control. And the fourth one is this one, performance measurement and control. So as far as section A is concerned, listen me carefully. Section A of the paper can be asked from any area of the syllabus. So out of the whole syllabus, examiner can ask 15 MCQs from any part of the syllabus. So there is no restriction that the section A type question cannot be asked from E, D, B, C, or whatever. So examiner can ask you 15 MCQs from the whole syllabus. I hope section A of the paper is clear. Now, section B of the paper. As far as section B of the paper is concerned, normally, section B of the paper is asked from this, budgeting and control. Basically, budgeting relates to budgeting and control relates to variances. So normally, there are 3 case studies, and the 3 case studies can be asked from these syllabus areas. So section A can be from any area of the syllabus. Section B of the paper will be asked from these areas of the syllabus. And now section C, there are 2 long questions, and normally these 2 long questions are asked from these 2. The first one can be from this, and the second one from this area of the syllabus. So this is the whole division of the syllabus with respect to sections of the paper. Normally, examiner follow this approach, but examiner can vary this. But we know that ACC examiner is very much predictable, and it always follows the past papers pattern. And if you will check the past papers available on the ACCA's website, it will be following this scheme that I have told you. That section A MCQs can be from the whole syllabus. Section B MCQs are from part B, part D of the syllabus. And section C of the paper is normally asked from part C and part E of the syllabus. Is it clear? Kindly confirm. Have you got the points that how our examiner will be assessing us? Is it clear? Okay. So basically these things I'm just asking you to keep you people alive. This is the detailed study guideline. So first of all, if I talk about the part B of the syllabus, specialist cost and management accounting techniques. So there are 5 techniques: activity-based costing, target costing, life cycle costing, throughput accounting, environmental accounting. So almost we will be covering this part of the syllabus in 3 to 4 lectures. Minimum 3 lectures will be delivered for this area of the syllabus, and maximum 4. And then we will move to the decision-making techniques. But as our first topic that I will be starting from cost and management accounting techniques, and I will follow this sequence, which is the first one is activity-based costing. Now, if you people want to know that what examiner is actually expecting from us in ABC, we can check it that in how much detail we need to study activity-based costing. So let me show you the details that the examiner is expecting from you people in activity-based costing. So this is activity-based costing in front of you. As far as your detailed study guideline, in the first area where I was taking the ABC target costing, that was the only name of the topics. And now in the detailed study guideline, there is the details of the each topic, that how much we will study in this topic. So first thing that we need to know, identify appropriate cost drivers under ABC. So first of all, we need to understand what is a cost driver, and our examiner will be asking the identification. So first of all, we must be knowing what is a cost driver. Then we will be able to identify the cost drivers. Then second thing that the examiner will be assessing from us is the calculate cost per driver. So the first thing is cost per driver. and per unit, it means cost per unit. So the two things that we need to understand in calculation, the driver rate, cost per driver mean the driver rate, and cost per unit, we already understand the meaning of cost per unit in management accounting, that how much cost we will be incurring on the production of one particular unit of a product. So we need to calculate the per unit cost. And then in the third part of the detailed study guideline, there is a comparison. Compare ABC and traditional method of overhead absorption based on production units, labor hours, and machine hours. So we need to have a comparison between traditional method of absorption costing with ABC. So these are the three things that the examiner is expecting that the students of the performance management must know. So we will study this topic in this depth. This is the boundaries of this topic. Then there is another topic, target costing, derive a target cost, then explain the difficulties in using the target costing in service industries, then suggest how the target cost gap might be closed. But our today's topic will be related to activity based. So keeping myself restricted to this topic, if there is any ambiguity that how you can read the syllabus and study guideline. This is basically why I'm discussing this, because I am expecting from you people that whatever topic I will teach you, you need to have a check on it, whether I am as per the course outline or not. So you people need to download it from the ACCA website, or even I will share it in the group when there will be a WhatsApp group. So you can download it from the ACCA website as well, and keep an eye on what we are studying in our regular classes. I will follow A to Z with this outline, and there is a detailed outline of this whole syllabus of performance management. Then there is a summary of the changes. The changes are already included in the syllabus, so we need not to study the changes because it is already included in the syllabus. So before moving to the topic, if there is any question from you people, then you may ask. Okay, so no question from your side. I hope that everyone is clear. So before moving to activity-based costing, you just need to recall in your mind that what is the elements of cost. Just recall it in your mind. Elements of a product. Just take a few seconds in your mind that what are the elements of cost of a product. The first thing that you people have thought about are the materials, and getting more specific, these are the direct materials, and everyone knows that what are the direct materials. No need to discuss in detail because this is the topic of management accounting, not the PM. Then the second part is direct labor. So first is direct material cost. Second one is direct labor cost. Then in some cases, there are direct expenses as well. And if we talk about the sum of these direct costs, this is known as prime cost. So this is the prime cost of a product. Then we absorb overheads, absorbed overheads, and absorbed overheads are added. Then this is the absorption cost. This is the absorption cost. So basically, there are three elements: material, labor, and expenses. And we can divide the materials into direct and indirect, labor into direct and indirect, and expenses can also be divided into direct and indirect elements. And we know that overheads are basically the sum of all indirect cost, all indirects. So indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses are basically included in overheads. So these are the elements of cost. So whenever there is a question to calculate the cost, you need to just follow this format. That first of all, we will write the material cost, labor cost, expenses if available in the question. Otherwise, no need to write the direct expenses. And then absorbed overheads are calculated. And you have done the absorption of overheads in management accounting. Just to update you that absorbed overheads are calculated with the help of a formula: OAR, overhead absorption rate, into actual level. And what is OAR? Overhead absorption rate. Overheads absorption rate. In simple words, overhead absorption rate means the rate at which overheads will be charged. The rate at which overheads will be charged. If it is given in the question, then it is very good. But if it is not given in the question, it is very easy to calculate. So overhead absorption rate is basically calculated with the help of this formula that I'm writing it in front of you. That is the budgeted fixed overheads. Normally, the overheads we absorb are fixed in nature. So budgeted fixed overheads divided by budgeted activity level. Budgeted, you all know what is the meaning of budgeted and what is fixed overheads and what is the meaning of activity level. So the data will be provided. For example, just to give you an idea that there is a question that is having a figure of budgeted fixed overheads as 100,000. And let's say the budgeted base given in the question is 20,000 direct labor hours. So if I divide it, it will be $5 per direct labor hour. What is the meaning of this? That if there will be 1 hour of labor, for each hour of labor, there will be $5 for overheads. So the overheads are charged at a rate of $5 per direct labor hour. It means, let's say, if this is the rate and one product, product X, requires 4 hours of labor, it means $20 will be charged to that product for overheads. So here we will write 20. So this is the whole process of absorption of overheads. That first of all, we need to have the rate. So this is the first stage, that we need to know the rate of absorption, the rate at which overheads will be charged. Then how much is to absorb? This is the second stage. And you might be remembering that in management accounting, you always calculate under absorbed or over absorbed. But in this syllabus, no need to go for the under or over, because this is not required. As far as the outline was concerned, outline was only the comparison of the two costs, no need to have under or over. So this is the revision of your management accounting, that how you have already calculated the absorption cost. Absorption cost has another name, full costing system or full cost. or a traditional costing system. So this is the different name of absorption costing. And the cost calculated under the absorption costing is known as absorption cost or full cost. Is it clear? Just confirm whether you are okay with this format, that whenever there is a calculation of cost, whether per unit or in total, we will follow this sequence. First of all, direct material cost will be written, direct labor, direct expenses. And if we want to take the total of direct, this will be named as prime cost. And then we will absorb the overheads. And for absorption of overheads, we need to have a rate. If the rate is given, then it is good. But if the rate is not given, there will be a data, and we can calculate the overhead absorption rate by dividing the budgeted fixed overheads with the budgeted level. And from that, we will get the rate, and then we will use that rate to apply the overheads for a particular product. And I assume that our product is having requiring 4 hours of labor. So the overhead cost that will be charged to this product will be $20. Please confirm. Everyone should confirm that you are familiar with the whole process. Okay. So now, what is the trick in coming topic? Activity-based costing. Before moving to that, if you look at here, I use the base, labor hours. And what is the alternate? Alternate could be the machine hours. If there is a production is done in machines, then the base could be machine hour, and we can write $5 per machine hour here. So how we will select the base? It depends on the nature of production. If the production is labor intensive, then it is suitable to use the labor hours as a base. And if the production is machine intensive, machines are being used, then we will use the machine hours as a base. But if we talk about the both of these bases, these are the time based. And with the time, there was a time in 1960s when this method was very common in the industry to calculate the cost of a product. At that time, the production was simple and there were no too many overheads. But nowadays, there are a huge amount of overheads incurred by each company for each product. So overheads have gone a very larger values, as well as the complex manufacturing techniques. So first time, Toyota Motor identified a gap that the time-based costing system is not appropriate. We should adopt a different approach, that every product has a unique resources. So those unique resources are named as activities for that product. And then accountants agreed that there must be activity-based costing system. So activity-based costing is basically the alternate system of absorption costing. In an activity-based costing, first of all, we will identify the activity. Activity is any piece of work which is being performed in an organization So activity is any piece of work which is being performed in an organization. For example, every organization purchase. So purchasing is one of the activity. Every organization dispatch goods. So dispatching is also another activity. And every one serve for the customers. So there is a customer service. So there are three activities that I have just mentioned in front of you, that purchasing, dispatching, customer services. And definitely we incur cost in each head. And that cost is known as activity cost pool. Activity cost pool is basically the ledger value for each activity. So what we need to do is we need to have a detail of each and every type of expenses, and the total of those expenses for a period will be known as the total cost of that activity, and we can name it as cost pool. And for every activity there is a reason, and that reason is known as cost driver. So the reason for increase of cost is known as cost driver. For example, purchasing is dependent on number of orders. Number of orders for purchases. Similarly, dispatches are dependent on number of sales orders. And customer services are depending on number of customers. So anything which is a reason for increase of a cost is known as cost driver. So basically cost driver is the reason of increase of cost of an activity. So on which basis the cost is increasing? For example, purchasing cost, we place an order, we purchase, we have some purchasing cost on each order. Similarly, goods are dispatched, so there is a dispatching cost. It depends on the sales orders. Customer services, it depends on the customers or the number of units sold. So what you have learned, that what is the meaning of activity, what is cost pool, and what is the cost driver. As far as your paper is concerned, examiner will give you different names for activities, and cost pool will be given. And sometimes the driver is written in front of each activity. So in that case, question will be very simple, that activity is given, cost pool is given, driver is given, then it is very simple. But as the course outline mentioned, that students should be able to identify activity and appropriate cost driver. So in some questions, activities will be given, cost pool will be given, and the driver will also be given, but not exactly in front of the activity. It will be given in the information that there is something like that, this is available, and now we need to judge that for which activity which base should be used. Just like I told you that if there is a labor intensive, we will use the labor hours as a base, and if the machines are doing the work, we will use the machine hours. And similarly, we will be using the information available in the activity based costing system. So the after identification, we will find a cost driver rate. So cost driver rate is very easy. This is just like the OAR, but in case of OAR, there is a single rate for each department. But in case of activities, if one department is having 4 activities, we need to find 4 rates, a separate rate for each activity. So the activity cost driver rate is basically equal to activity cost pool divided by volume of driver. We will solve so many questions in today's lecture. Then you will be able to pick the values and just you will divide. We will get the cost driver rate. And after that, we will be using the information available in the activity based costing system. So the after identification, we will find a cost driver rate. So cost driver rate is very easy. This is just like the OAR, but in case of OAR, there is a single rate for each department. But in case of activities, if one department is having 4 activities, we need to find 4 rates, a separate rate for each activity. So the activity cost driver rate is basically equal to activity cost pool divided by volume of driver. We will solve so many questions in today's lecture. Then you will be able to pick the values and just you will divide. We will get the cost driver rate. And after that, we will calculate overheads, and the overheads will be just like the absorbed overheads. This will be cost driver rate into actual consumption of activity. For example, one product is consuming 2 orders or 1 order. So we will multiply with 1 or 2, whatever the figure is. So this will be the answer of overhead cost. Instead of absorbing the overheads based on machine time or labor time, we will be absorbing the overheads based on activities. So the method is same, and here we will put the value based on ABC, not based on absorption. Is it clear? If there is any question, any confusion so far, please raise your confusion. Everyone should confirm. Why? Hmm? Okay, so almost everyone is saying that it is clear. I assume that everyone is clear. So we will move to the practice questions. We will be following Kaplan study text and BPP and Kaplan practice kits, as well as there are my handouts available that I will share with you. But for today's class, I will be showing you the screen for questions, and I will share you the material as well after the class. So this is the introductory, that what is ABC, why ABC is developed, but you need to read the points which are as per the course outline. So you need to read activity cost pool. So there are some examples that there is an activity of ordering, number of orders will be based, material handling cost if there is any activity, then the number of production runs can be the base. For product scheduling cost, number of runs can be the base, dispatching cost, material procurement, and so forth. But I will move you to the past paper question, and that question is, first of all, I will go to a very easy question, which is example 3 in the handouts, brick by brick. So let me show you the question. Brick by Brick is building business that provides a range of building services to public. Recently, they have been asked to quote for a garage conversions GC and extension to properties EX, and have found that they are winning fewer GC contracts than expected. So basically, there is a builder that provides two types of services. One is GC and other one is EX. So you can just consider it as a two product, X and Y. Brick by Brick has a policy to price all the jobs at a budgeted cost plus 50%. So this is the profit markup. Overheads are currently absorbed on the basis of labor hours. So this is the current practice of the company, that it is absorbing overheads based on labor hours. Brick by Brick thinks that if it switched to the activity-based costing to absorb the overheads, this would reduce the cost associated to GC, hence make them more competitive. So the overhead categories are three categories. It means three activities are overheads are divided into three activities. The first one is related to supervisors, then planners, then property related, and the total of the overheads are 400,000. And in front of each activity, let me label it. This is activity. This is cost pool. This is driver. And this is volume of driver. That how many drivers are used or consumed. For a supervisor, cost is this one. And for a supervisor, we will use the base as a site visit. And the number of site visits in the year are expected to be 500,000. So if we want to calculate the driver rate, we can simply divide 90,000 with 500. And similarly, the second activity is planner. The cost is 70,000 and the base is planning documents and the number of planning documents are 250. And the third activity is property related. Cost is 240,000. Base is labor hours and the total labor hours are 40,000. So I hope you are okay to understand the question that which is activity, which is cost pool, which is driver, and which is one is known as volume of driver. So if you have understand the data, then there is no issue in the calculation. Then if we make a total of the overheads, so the total of the overheads is 400,000. Basically, in a traditional system, we take the total overheads to absorb the overheads. So if we need to solve this question with the help of absorption costing, then we will be using 400,000. And if we are going to solve it under ABC, we will not use 400. We will divide the 400 into three components as divided by the question. Moving to the next para in the question. Sorry. A typical GC cost 3,500 in materials. So this is the cost of material as told by me that for every cost, the first one will be the cost of materials. Then there is a labor data and then resource requirement of GC for supervisor and other resources. And similarly, the cost of EX is 8,000 in materials. It takes 500 hours to complete. And this is the resource consumption of EX for ABC system. In all cases, labor is paid. So this is the labor repayment rate. So this will help to calculate the cost of labor. I hope the data is clear. Now, what is the requirement? The requirement is very simple. That calculate the cost and quote a price of a GC and EX using labor hours to absorb the overhead. So this is very simple. The format will be followed as instructed by me at the start of this lecture. GC and EX. So there are two products. I will make two columns. The first one will be the cost of material. And the material cost is clearly mentioned in the question, 3,500 for GC and 8,000 for EX. So I will just copy paste 3,500 and 8,000. The second element cost is labor cost. So the labor details are mentioned that how many hours GC requires, 300 hours of labor. So 300 into per hour of labor is 15. This will be 4,500. And for EX, 500 hours of labor at rate of 15. So this will be 7,500. And if we want to take a total of these, this will be prime cost. Now, the next one is absorbed overheads. And for absorbed overheads, we need to have some working. So what is the working? Working number one. In absorption, we need to find OAR. And for OAR, what I told you, the budgeted fixed overheads divided by budgeted level, budgeted activity level. And let me show you from the question that what are the total fixed overheads? 400,000. So this will be 400,000. And what is the base? The base was mentioned in the question that currently company is using labor hours to absorb overheads. This is overheads are currently absorbed on a labor hour basis. So how many labor hours are budgeted? 40,000. This is given in the question here. The budgeted labor hours are 40,000. So I will use 40,000 as a base. So what will be the rate? $10 per direct labor hour. And if this is the rate, I can find the overhead of GC. The rate is $10. And how many hours of labor GC is requiring? 300. It means overheads will be 3,000. And how many hours of labor EX is consuming? 500. It means this will be 5,000. So this is the answer of overheads. I will just copy it here, 3,000 and 5,000. And now, what is the absorption cost? Take a sum of these. 11,000, I guess. 20,500. And how much profit this company will be charging? 50% markup. So this will be 5,500. So the price of GC will be 16,500. And this will be 10,250. So 30,750 will be the price of EX. So the first requirement of the question was that calculate the cost and quote a price using existing labor hours to absorb the overhead. So this part was having 5 marks. So if there is a long question, then this can be done in this way. Otherwise, MCQs are very simple. Is it clear? If there is any confusion, please ask. Okay, that's fine. So now let's move to ABC system, activity-based costing system. Cost under ABC, activity-based costing. There are two categories of the product services, GC and EX. First of all, there will be a material cost. There will be a labor cost. So the material cost is 3,500 and 8,000 given in the question. For labor, 300 hours at $15 per hour. This will be 4,500. And similarly, 500 into 15 will be 7,500. But now, overheads are not based on activity, labor hours. Now, it will be based on activities. And how many activities are there? Supervisor, planner, and property related. So first of all, I will just copy the name, supervisors, planners. That cost is divided into 3 heads: supervisor's cost, planner's cost, and property related. So instead of a single overhead, there will be three types of overheads because this is activity-based costing system. And in activity-based costing system, first of all, we will calculate the cost driver rate. And for driver rate, it is very simple. Activity cost pool divided by volume of driver. So there are three activities. Definitely, there will be three rates. So first one is supervisors. So what is the cost pool of supervisors? 90,000. So 90,000 is the activity cost pool. And the base is the site visits. And how many site visits are expected? 500. So what will be the rate per visit? If a supervisor go to the GC or EX, there will be a per visit cost, and that cost will be how much? So this will be $180 per visit. The next is planner's cost. And the planner's cost is 70,000. And the base is documents, and the documents are 250 documents. And someone told me that this is 280 per document. Very good. So this is the rate of overheads that we will be charging. And then property related. For property related, we have a cost of 240,000. And the base is 40,000 labor hours. This will be 6 per direct labor hour. So if we have calculated the rate, then it is very easy. For a supervisor, we have a rate of 180 per visit. How many visits GC requires? A GC requires only one visit of a supervisor. It means I will multiply with 1. So this will be 180. And for EX, how many visits of the supervisors are required for EX? EX requires 6 site visits. So this is given in the question that 6 site visits are required for EX. So what will be 180 into 6? So what will be the cost of supervisors for EX? 180 into 6. $1080, okay. And what for planner? The rate is 280 per document. How many documents are required? 1 document for GC and 5 documents for EX. So given in the question, 1, this will be 280. This will be 280 into 5. What will be the answer? 1400. That's fine. The next is property related. The rate is $6 per hour. How many hours of GC require? 300. So this will be 1800. 6 into how many hours are required for EX? 500. So this will be 3000. And now, so what is the cost in ABC? The sum of these 5 elements: material, labor, supervisor, planner, property related. And if we want to take the overhead total, this will be the total overheads. But as we need to have a total cost, we will add the material and labor as well. But if we only add the green highlighted, this will be the total of the overheads. So please take a total of the cost in ABC system. 10,260 for GC and 20,980 for EX. And if I assume that the profit will be at a 50%, so the 50% will be 5,130. And what will be the 50% of this? And in this case, what is the sale price? 15,390. So the price is now different. Previously, the company was following traditional. We are charging high prices to customers. That's why customers are not coming to us for GC. Whereas previously, we are charging lower prices for EX. The customers are coming to us. But now we are charging more for EX because this will be 10,000. How much it will be? 465, 490. Okay. So the total will be 31,000 something, 31,470. So in ABC system, the costs are more accurately charged because it is based on the resources consumed, not on the time, not only on the time. Is it clear? So this is the process that how we will be calculating the cost of a product in ABC system and how in traditional system. And if I compare with the course outline, are you able to understand what is a cost driver, how to calculate the driver rate, how to calculate the cost per unit, and how to compare? I hope the three parts of the course outline are applicable in this question. So this was the part per question, and this is, and it will be very easy. And this question was related to section C, which is a long question. As far as our topics are concerned, in most of the time, ABC system is asked in section A or section B type, not in the section C type. But if we will be doing the question in a full, it will be very easy to do a part in MCQs. We will also do some practice questions in MCQs. But before moving to that, we will solve one or two more questions of this type. Can I move to the next question if there is no other query from your side? Okay. Okay, moving to example 4, which is triple limited, in which there are three products, product X, Y, and Z. Data is given in a different way. Basically, in ABC, the examiner plays a trick of placing the data. He places the data in a different way. But when we will be reading it thoroughly, it will be easy to understand. So if I talk about this question, there are three products. The per unit time is given for labor hours. So half an hour, 1.5 hour, 1 hour. And if I talk about the machine time, 1.5 hour, 1 hour, and 3 hours. Then material per unit in dollars, pounds. The currency in this question is pound. So 20 pounds for X, 12, 25. Then volume mean the number of units. So these are the number of units for X, Y, and Z. Direct labor cost is £6 per hour. So this is the rate of labor at which the labor is being paid. So this rate will be used to calculate the cost of the labor. Just like in the previous question, it was 15. But now in this question, the labor rate is £6. The rate for the period is 28 per, and the production overheads are absorbed on a machine hour basis, and the rate for the period is £28 per machine hour. If I compare this question with the previous one, in this case, OAR is given. The overhead absorption rate is given. And on which basis overheads are absorbed? Machine hours. Is it clear? So if I calculate the cost of the three products based on traditional system, I can calculate it. This is very easy question. Just the way of presenting the data is different, but question is very easy. So I will stick to my format that for every cost, first of all, I will write the material cost. So let me move to OneNote. This is triple limited. X, Y, and Z. So first of all, there will be a material cost, which is straightforwardly given, 20 pounds. The currency in this question is pounds. So this is 20, 12, and 25. 20, 12, and 25. Then there will be a labor cost, and this will be based on labor hours. Half an hour, 1/2 into 6. So this will be 3. Then 1.5 hour into 6, this will be 9. 1 hour into 6, this will be 6. As far as overheads are concerned, and this is traditional, so this will be absorbed overheads. The rate is given. No need to find OAR. Rate is 28 pounds. So this is 28, and this is per machine hour. So the machine hours are given 1.5 hour. So this will be 1.5. How much it will be? 28 into 1.5. 42, I guess. Okay. And for Y, 28 into 1. So this will be 28. And for Z, 28 into 3. Why 3? Because the 3 machines are required per unit of Z. So what will be this? 84. So what is the cost? Cost per unit in traditional system. Traditional means absorption. This will be 65. How much is the total for Y and Z? So this is 49. I was waiting from your side. I was not speaking. That's why you are not hearing. So I hope this is very, but as you know that examiner is always tricky. So this is also an exam question, and in okay, no, now moving to the next part. Further analysis shows that the total of the overheads can be divided as cost relating to setup, cost relating to machinery, cost related to material handling, cost related to inspection. So the total of the overhead are divided into four categories. So this is activities. The name of the activities are different from the previous question. So in exam question, it doesn't matter that what is the name of the activity. So it will be any name with the any name. But if we look at the figures are not in currency. It is given in percentage. So first of all, we need to have the total overheads, and the total overheads are not given. So how we can find the total overheads? Yes, we can find the total overheads. We know that OAR's formula, budgeted fixed overheads or budgeted overheads divided by budgeted base, or we can say that budgeted level. OAR is given 28 pounds. Budgeted overheads or total overheads are not given. So this will be calculated. And what is the rate? 28 per machine hour. So how many machine hours we require? Total machine hours. Not given directly, but we can have the total machine hours. For X, Y, and Z, how many machine hours are required? 1.5, 1, and 3. So this is 1.5, 1, and 3. And how many units? 750, 1250, and 7,000. So what will be the total answer of these figures? Okay, multiply 715 to 1.5. $11.25. So what will be the total? So this will be the total machine hours. 23,375. So this will be used here. And we can get the figure of total. Please multiply this. We will get the budgeted fixed overheads, or we can say that budgeted overheads. So what is the figure of budgeted overheads? 654,500. Okay. And this figure will be divided into four categories. Setup cost 35%. So out of this, 35% will be related to setup cost. So calculate the 35% of this. So this will be 229075. And 20% of this figure will be related to machinery cost. Please calculate the 20% of the total. This is 130,900. 15% is related to materials handling cost. So now the data is given in a different way. In the previous question, the overhead for each activity was given, but now the examiner is again playing with the data. 98,175. And the fourth activity is inspection. And the inspection is how much? 30%. So the 30% of the total will be how much? $196,350. And the sum of these four will definitely be equal to 654,500 because the total is divided into four components. And what should be the base if this is given? Now, the base, for base, there is the information, number of setups, number of material movements, number of inspections. So for which activity, which base should be used? The first activity is setup cost. So the suitable base is number of setups. And the number of setups in total are 670. So we get with the 670, so we will get the rate per setup. Please calculate the rate. So the number of setups will be used as a base for the setup cost. So if we go for up to 2 decimal places, it will be 341.9. I always recommend to go for the 2 decimal places if examiner is not restricting. And the next is related to material handling. And for material handling, number of material movements, 120 in total. So this will be divided with 120 and the rate will be per movement of material. So this will be 1090.83. And the third activity, I'm sorry, is related to machinery. And for machinery, the base will be machine hours. For machinery, the suitable base will be the machine hours. Machine hours are 23,375. So this will be per machine hour. Please make a correction. The second activity was related to machinery, and machinery, the suitable base is machine hours, base is material movements. So for machinery related, the rate is 5.6. And calculate the rate, driver rate for third. So this is 818.13 per movement. And the last one is related to inspection, and the base will be number of inspections, and the number of inspections are 1000 in total. So this will be 196.35 per inspection. So if the rate is calculated, then it is very easy to complete the question. There are two products, X, Y, and Z. Material cost is given. Labor cost is also given. The material cost is 20, 12, and 25. Labor cost is given £6 per hour. So for this is 3, 9, and 1 hour 6. Then overheads, and overheads are now divided into 4 categories. The first one is setup cost. So this is setup cost. Now, pay your attention, please. The rate is 341.9 per setup. Okay. So I will apply this rate. 341.9 per setup. In how many setups are required for one X for X? 75. So in total, 75 are required for product X. And we are calculating cost per unit. We are basically calculating cost of 1 unit. And how many units of X are produced in total? 750. So in order to convert the total cost into per unit cost, we need to divide it with the number of units. Did you get the logic? Why I divided it? Because the rate is 341.9 per setups. When I multiply with the setups of X, these 75 setups are for total, not for a single unit. So this cost will be converted with the total setups. This will be the total cost. Whereas my calculation is based on 1 unit cost, so I will divide it with the number of units. So this is the reason that I am dividing it with the total number of units. I have not divided it with the previous question. In the previous question, there was no such division. But here, the data was in such a way that when I multiplied the driver rate with the base, the cost was converted into total. As my calculation was on per unit basis, so in order to convert the total cost into per unit, I divided it with the number of units. So what will be for Y? 341.9 into how many setups are required for Y? 115. And how many units of Y? 1250. So what will be the cost of setup for Y? So this will be 1.45. And for Z, what will be the value? 341.9 into number of setups for Z, 480. And how many units of Z? 7,000. So please convert the value for Z. So this will be 23.44. Everyone should confirm this calculation. Is it clear? And if there is any ambiguity, please do not hesitate to clear it. Okay, so the second is machinery related. So this is related to machinery. And the rate for machinery is calculated 5.6 per machine hour. And how many machine hours are required for X? It is 1.5. So this will be multiplied with 1.5. For this will be 5.6 into, I guess, 1. Yes. And for this will be 5.6 into 3. this will be x is 8.4, okay. Then 5.6, then 16.8. So this was very easy calculation. The next one is related to material handling. Material handling. The rate was calculated 818.13 per movement. So 818.13 per movement. How many movements are required for x? 12. So this will be multiplied with 12. Again, this will be in total. So in order to convert this into per unit basis, this is will be divided with 750 because 750 is the number of units. Okay, if it is difficult, no issue. I will share you. Just you need to be concentrative on the calculations. I will share you the material. Even first of all, note my number. Till the WhatsApp group is created, till that note my number. Send me a text message. I will share you the file after the class. And today I will end the session right after this question. I will not take it to the 3 hours because you are not having the material. So this is my number 0092 312 4477 668. This is my number. My name is Ayaz Mustafa. It's 0092 312 4477 668. Save it and send me a text after the class. I will share you the file. Then you will be having this. We will complete this question. Then I will end the class as it is the first session. So I will end it after completion of this question. Just a few minutes remaining, please. So don't worry, I will always be with you people. Okay, have you noted the number? Okay. So material handling, what is the answer for material handling for X? 818.13 into 12 divided by 750. Sorry, I could not. Please share the total. So this is 65.59. And for Y, 818.13 into 21 movements and divided by 1250. So this will be the answer for Y. Okay, if you are getting 13.09, no issue, just solve this. If the answer is 13.09, you can write the 13.09. Just solve this because I am getting the answer from you people, then I'm writing it. So if this is 13.09, no issue, we will write it 13.09. Okay. And what about Y? 13.74. Okay. And what for Z? It will be calculated here 818.13 into number of movements for Z, 87 movements. So this is 87, and it will be divided with the number of units of Z, which are 7,000. So this is 10.17. And I guess there is another activity remaining. Yes, inspection. So the fourth one is for inspection. And the rate for inspection is calculated. The rate is 196.35. 196.35 per inspection. How many inspections are required for X? 150. So it will be again in total, and we will be dividing it with number of units. So 750 are the number of units. Is divided. So this is 39.27. And what will be for Y? 196.35 into 180 over 1250. So this is 28.27. And for last one, this is 196.35 into how many movements are required? 480 into 480 divided by 7,000. So 13.46. So in this way, the question is complete. And now we will be taking a total. The total will be from the total of these figures. Total cost in ABC, cost per unit in ABC. So this is 117.95. So in this way, we will be completing the Y and Z. So this is just the sum. Before moving further, any feedback from your side regarding our today's class? Did you people like the style? And if you have any suggestion, you may suggest it. And 2 hours are completed almost, and we will be having 3 hours class from the next week. Till the next week, you will be having WhatsApp group and the material as well. I will share you the material if you will send me a text on WhatsApp. So due to shortage of the material, we will be ending our class today. I will share you this file, and this file will be related to the whole volume 1. And you need to do is to read something theoretically related to ACCA and read the question 3, example 3 and example 4. Example 1 and 2 are not done yet. I will do it in the coming class. Any suggestion from your side? Are you okay with the methodology that I have adopted? Because in a virtual class, there is a limitation that two people might be inactive. That's why I always offer you further queries. Is it clear? Okay, so there are so many comments. Let me read it. Class of clear explanations. Okay, yes, sir. Must review the 2 questions and we have them. Okay. And every topic that we will be covering, our style will be the same. And I guarantee you that after every class, you will get something very good with you, the understanding of the concepts. And I always recommend to read the topic from textbook. I will also share you the textbook. Anyone who will share, send me a text, I will share you the material, and the material will be having these 4 files: BPP kit, Kaplan kit, as well as study text and volume 1 notes. So I will share these 4 files with you. And you may download these files in your system on which you will be taking the class on regular basis. Am I audible to you people? Sorry, I was disconnected, and sometime in virtual classes, this thing happens to you. But whenever I was disconnected, I request all of you to be connected until I will see you. I will give you a bye. So if there will be any disconnection from my side, keep connected. But now, as per my wording, that we will be ending the class if there is no questions. So last time, can we end the class? Okay. So take care. We'll see you next week. Come with the handouts in your system so that you can open those handouts as per your convenience. Although I have shared the screen, but you people must be having your files with you. And I will be sharing you the material as per my offer. So take care. We'll see you next day, next class. Bye.